Narratives are we seeing out there? Murumi Mwangi put together this piece for us.
In the campaign to reconstruct the Kenyan economy and manage its skyrocketing debt, one man has been consistent in the conversation. Former Finance Minister and ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi.
We must get the economy working, and working for all Kenyans. And I can tell you, if the economy was working and it was growing, and people are getting jobs elsewhere, the concern about an additional number of members of parliament would not be a big issue.
But turns out it's not only Musalia who is talking matters economy. All other 2022 presidential hopefuls have incorporated different aspects of the economy. Deputy President William Ruto has coined what he calls the bottom-up economic recovery model, which he claims is to pump more resources to the grassroots businesses, with a view to inject an upward trajectory of economic empowerment. Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka is campaigning for what he calls a prioritization of a 24-hour economy, with more focus on the blue economy. While former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has crafted several economic recovery models, beginning with reforms in the civil service to inject more competence and accountability, as well as a rural transformation blueprint that suggests strong policies towards provision of reliable and cheap electricity, as well as cheap water to boost manufacturing at the grassroots, and to drastically cut importation of commodities whose local production capacity has not been met. But why the dominance of the economy in the 2022 conversation?
If you take away that authority to say, I simply have to go borrow as much as I want to spend, to a point where you say, what should I truly spend? That discussion is important. And therefore, once you agree, then the nation as a whole is behind you in seeking to borrow what you're going to borrow.
The message to Kenyans will most likely be the same. Because the things that are affecting Kenyans today, afflicting every Kenyan, is money in their pocket. How are we going to manage taxation? It's something that we want to deal with.
Our slogan is Kazi ni Kazi. It's a wheelbarrow. And I find it ridiculous. I saw my colleague Mutula Kilonzo was here the other day making fun about, this wheelbarrow, how can you give people wheelbarrow? His party symbol is an umbrella. Is he distributing umbrellas in Makueni?
In Kenya, you cannot sit and say, this is what I'm going to do about the economy and get elected. Not even if you talk about this is what I'm going to do about spirituality and get people to be behind you. We are about people and we follow people and we believe in people. So if you ask somebody, why do you believe in Ruto, they are not likely to give you any sense.
Yet the age-old campaign issue of inclusivity in government has also made a comeback, this time with lessons from the divisive 2017 polls. Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta leading the conversation on platform of the recently nullified Building Bridges initiative that recommends enhancement of the population quota in the limitation of elective units and an expansion of the national executive to accommodate an additional post of Prime Minister and 2 deputies, a proposal that has roped in such presidential hopefuls as Mudavadi, Kalonzo and KANU National Chairman Gideon Moi.
After every election, the country is defranchised. And this defranchising of the country greatly affects our economy. It affects our social setup, that me and my brothers and sisters, we cannot see eye to eye. That's what the BBI is solving.
This BBI should be about us implementing the myriad of laws and the myriad of provisions in the current constitution that can be able to make us a better society and a better nation. But if every time we say, no, this one, it is like somebody who goes to a witch doctor. Witch doctor must come up with something.
Yet one obstacle conspicuously stands out on nearly all 2022 presidential hopefuls: the baggage of the exiting regime, majorly the national debt blamed on alleged economic mismanagement and flop of key Kenyatta policies. Ruto seemingly wielding the heaviest of the burden as the president's principal assistant, While such presidential hopefuls as Odinga, Mudavadi and Kalonzo, some analysts say, wield the tug of blame for relinquishing their opposition role.
It is about political arrangements, political bargaining, political organization. So whoever puts together a bigger coalition that brings more political players together and therefore brings their people behind them is likely to carry the day.
Mudavadi, Kalonzo, Moi and Ford Kenya leader Moses Wetangula have already coalesced under the One Kenya Alliance and are due to unveil a coalition anchored on the same foundation, with Odinga eyeing a likely coalition with Kenyatta's Jubilee Party. Where Ruto has been leading a solo campaign under UDA, all teams working tirelessly behind the scenes to craft marketable manifestos ahead of the 2022 polls. Muremi Mwangi, KTN News.
All right, that's report there by Muremi Mwangi on what may just emerge to be the issues of